Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, January 30th, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We are post FOMC statement and Fed interest rate decision. In the previous session here, we had a 3286 half FOMC key level developed for the ES, and so far it has taken it offered, and that's very, very important right now. If you go back again, just over the last few rotations here, again, the market has a memory at these FOMC key levels, and this is one from May that went offered. The first day right there went down, it pulls back, and the retest offered, and it drops over the course of the month. After it's done, it returns back to it, right? Over here, again, offered that day. The retest was also defended, and it sold off. Eventually, it came back to retest that level. Same thing happened here in September, sold off. Higher low here, it bounces back. These last few times here, the last two times at least, it has gone bid and bid. But right now, again, we have not taken this thing bid. The day's not over yet, but the previous session had already taken it offered here into the close, and then today so far in pre-market, overnight and pre-market trading, we've dropped again. So again, the day's not over. We could easily see some sort of rejection here and close the day back above the previous session's close. You know, if it starts to reject something like this here, then yes, it can take it bid and we can go. But for right now, it appears as though the market has taken this level offered here, and if we retest it, say Friday, that could be a selling opportunity for a drop downward, as long as this level remains offered. So again, something to keep in mind here. Obviously, the overall trend remains up, and given the current trend trajectory and the entire trend over the last few months here, that channel, this type of behavior could still lead to an overall upside move at some point. So again, not saying it has to break down because it's taken it offered. Got to see how the market responds to this, because any rejection here could be a great continuation to the upside yet again. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. Again, similar to the ES, the NQ also took the FOMC key level offered. You can see right there, that's your FOMC 9138, and dropped down into the close. Today in an overnight trading went right to that level and tested it and sold off away from it. So right now that's basically the high of the day. And overall, this market continues to trend up, but again, this is the first time we're taking this lumbar offered. If we do drop downward, we'll expect some sort of move downward over the course of 1-2 weeks, and then from there we could reject and return back to that number. So we'll see how this plays out. But again, this has a similar price action to the ES right now, wherein the trend remains very much intact, and again, we could easily shake this thing out and break through 9200 to continue trending higher. Okay, let's take a look now at crude oil. Now, crude oil has dropped lower here. This thing is down already 4% and continues to push downward. Again, something we talked about yesterday was keep an eye on 54 and 53.85, because if it breaks through that zone, we could see a continuation higher. But a failure could open up a return back down. And again, this thing has been very bearish here. This pullback to 61s bearish. This pullback here to 54s so far bearish, and we are now approaching 52 for the first time. Well, we reached 51.95 here, but for the first time in this move, we've hit it today, and we still may see a drop as deep as 51 or lower. So again, as I mentioned before, anytime crude has gotten below 51s, it has been very, very quick to turn around. It hasn't stayed there long. If I draw a line here at about 51, which is about right here, so you'll see that it just doesn't stay there long. It gets there below it just a little bit here before it slingshots right back up the same day, same morning, or perhaps overnight. So when we get down into that zone, if we do perhaps break lower, again, it already has a pretty decent range on the day today, but it could extend that range further. Watch for signs of rejection, because it could mean a very nice return back up. All right, let's take a look now at gold futures. Now, gold is up about 0.6%. This one continues to push a little bit higher here. It barely held on the breakout. We talked about the 1565 level, which is about right there, and how this narrow range, if it can break to the upside, could open up quite a bit of upside movement over the next couple of weeks. It broke to the upside, and then it needed to hold the retest, and it did so far. So it's doing just enough to continue higher toward the 1613. It hasn't wanted to really push beyond 1585 much. So again, right now this is still a very compressed market with, a slight upward bias, obviously. But right now, again, given the trend and everything, that suggests more upside here. But a failure to hold 1560, 1565 could open up a return back toward 1525. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.